let's get the night started. Welcome to the cage, Bruce Wetzel. And his opponent coming to the cage, Macon Santos. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a one-round grappling match for 6 minutes, submission only. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Bruce Wetzel.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Macon Santos.
Good. Ready? Bunch.
Go back on.
That was intense.
Good. Keep the legs spread.
Left foot.
Keep moving. Scramble now. Yes. Yes. Go. Go. Get up. Be first.
Get up, Bruce. Get up.
Good.
Get up, Bruce.
Scramble towards the back. Watch the other leg. Go towards the good pressure. Put weight on the floor.
Good. Good hook. That's enough. Get out of there. Get back up.
You're good. Fall down on the knee shield. Good. Heavy. Get head control. Okay, be heavy. Control the hips. Go to improve your position as soon as you can. Control position first.
Use it to get up, Bruce. Use it to get up. Use it to get up.
Go, go, go.
Position. Right there. Scissor choke. Scissor choke. Hit the Kimura. Hit the Kimura. You finish it.
Watch your feet, good. Stay heavy.
Push him forward. Get up.
Trying to smash those down to a side. Look for that knee.
Get up. Put your feet out here. Scoot up. Scoot your butt up.
Heavy, heavy.
Butt.
They come, watch your own feet.
Going forward, use that as momentum.
For that E-block.
Tap.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes and 52 seconds into round number 1. Your winner via Toho, Mekan Sento.
Who's behind you?
Yeah, this is close.
All right, first we're going to call out John Medina. And now calling out his opponent, Brett Provencher.
Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's not the game,
Hey, the bar is open if you guys are tired of waiting. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is 1/6 round. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Brett Provencher. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, John Medina.
We're good? You ready? How much?
seconds into the round, your winner via rear naked choke, Brett Preventure.
Just stand to the right. I would just stay right there. Three, two, one, and go.
And welcome to his opponent, Carlos Braga.
Wish they would. Dude's rolling around.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is 1 6-minute round fighting out of the blue corner, Fiore Porecca. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, Paolo Braga.
Ready? Isso? Combate. Não, calma aí. Atenção. Mexe aí, calma. Não tem pra ir não, cara, também. Não tá quase também, não cai. Balança ele, balança ele, balança ele, balança ele, balança ele, cara. Vamos cá, aí, boa. Aí, passa. Vem pra cá, vem pra lateral. Bate quadril. Aí. Aí, Cauã. Bate quadril. Fica aí, Cauã. Bate quadril, Cauã. Bate cabeça. Aí, fica aí, Cauã. Fica aí agora. Fica aí, Cauã. Tá fazendo o jogo certinho. Tá muito bem, Cauã. Aí. Vai chegando, cata catando, Cauã. Ele vai ficar aí, ó. Aí, Cauã, cabeça no chão. Vamos. Passa de novo. Não para, Cauã. Mantém ele no chão, Cauã. Aí, é isso aí, garoto. Cata catando, Cauã. Calma. Aí, calma. Vai chegando na posição, tá certinho? Baixa o quadril. Isso aí, garoto. Ele vai te dar aí, garoto. Ele vai te dar corte, calma. Mantém aí. Aí. Isso, sai daí, Cauã. Tá catando. Tá muito bem, Cauã. Fica aí. Dominar a posição primeiro. Fica aí, Cauã. Prima das costas. Pega as costas, Cauã. Fecha a guarda aí agora. Fecha a guarda aí agora, Cauã. Isso aí. Tá ganhando, tá? Tá ganhando a luta, Cauã. Tá ganhando. Tá ganhando, Cauã. Isso aí. O braço dele aí pro lado aí, ó. Pro lado. Boa, garoto. Isso, Cauã. Braço dele pro lado, Cauã. Braço pro lado. O braço dele pra cá, Cauã. 2 contra 1 aí, ó, do braço. Aí, Cauã. Pega o braço. Aí, pega. Cauã. Aí, pega.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes and 16 seconds into round number 1. Your winner via armbar, Ranga. And now his opponent fighting again, Akon Santos. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 1 6-minute round. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Scott Sheridan. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Akon Santos.
Ready? Yep. Combate.
Vamos começar aí, vai. Aí, isso aí, eu acho que estamos no começo. Pronto. Já fica agora, Mike, aí. Ataca ele aí agora, Diego. Olha o Diego aí, Mike. Atenção aí no bote dele aí. Isso, essa mesmo. Agora. Aí. Com o braço dele. Isso, Mike. Vai trazer o braço dele pra você. Ele vai querer chegar na meia, Mike. Não deixa. Não deixa chegar não, Mike. Deixa chegar não. Não pode já chegar, Mike. Vai empurrando aí, vai. Tenta repor. Vai, tenta repor, tá? Bora. Tenta repor. Não deixa mais não. Vamos, vai. Underhook, vai chegando, vai. Tira daí rápido, vai. Bora. Não para mais. Vamos. Tenta repor, vai. Deixa chegar não. Você vai querer ficar aí, ó. Botando pressão, vamos. Empurra agora, tá com o braço, vamos. Capota ele, tá pro lado. Bora, vai. Aí. Repõe, agora repõe. Não, vai. Bora, vai. Não para, vai.
Here we go. Go to work now.
Não para não, Mike. Vamos.
Cook.
Bora, Mike, não para. Bora, Mike, não para não.
Go to work.
Para não, gira pro lado, Mike.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute and 28 seconds into the round. Your winner via guillotine, Scott Sheridan. And now welcoming his opponent, Eric Farrow.
Yeah.
fighting out of the blue corner, Dallas Felipe. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Eric Arrow.
Ready? Listo? Combate! Aí, boa, cara. Aí, derruba. Leva pro meio, cara, leva pro meio. Aí. Bota no chão. Aí, boa, cara. Vou fazer guarda agora aí. Dá pro braço, tá? Aí, abriu. Já faz o dedo agora. Bate o quadril. Aí, mantém no chão. Aí, boa. Bate o quadril. Calma. Postura rápido, cara. Postura rápido. Balança daí, sai daí. Postura rápido. Vamos, Thay. Não para aí não, vai. Para aí não, Thay. Não para aí não. Vamos, Thay. Sai daí. Vai. Bora sair daí, Thay. Bora sair daí. Vamos. Tá balançando, Thay. Aí, já tirou. Vai, tira daí. Para aí não. Aí, boa. Volta, viu? Volta de novo, fica em pé. Balança aí, vamos. De novo, tá? Vamos derrubar ele agora. Vai nas pernas, aí. Vai embaixo mais. Desce mais. Desce, bora. Agora tá pro meio. Isso. Desce pro meio, calma. De novo, vai. Desce de novo. Já levanta aí, desce. Isso, aí mesmo. Desce pro meio. Levanta. Aí, garoto. Mantenha agora no chão aí, tá? Abaixa a cabeça dele. Abaixa a cabeça dele agora. Aí, ombro na cara. Presta ele agora, cara. Ele vai te dar as costas. Presta atenção. Tem que ser pra cá. Aí, boa. Pitbelt, tá? Já vou escochar lá. Aí, garoto. É a do drill, tá? Vamos. Entra o gancho todo. Bate ele lá pro outro lado, tá? Entra o gancho primeiro. Vai abrindo ele, tá? Aí já tem espaço aí, ó. Tem espaço pra cá também. O lado de cá tá todo aberto, tá? Pitbelt, aí. Vai ele agora pra frente. O lado de cá tá todo aberto, tá? O lado de cá tá aberto, tá? Fica pra baixo, desce mais, tá? Tá muito de pé? Tá muito rápido. Tá, de novo, tá? Bora. Desce de novo. Mantém ele no chão pra derrubar ele, tá? Mantém ele no chão, tá? Vai. Agora, desce mais pro quadril. Não dá as costas. Dá as costas aí. Ele tá com o underhook, tá? Ele tá com o underhook aí. O underhook tem que ser seu. O underhook tem que ser seu, tá? Vamos. De novo, vai. Mantém ele na grade. Vai na perna agora. Olha o pescoço. Desce mais, tá? O underhook tem que ser seu. Vamos. Mexe mais. Bora. Agora. Aê. Boa. Traz ele pro meio, tá? Aê, garoto. Bate o quadril. Traz ele pro meio. Isso aí, foca ele te dá as costas, olha na barriga dele agora, forte. Isso aí, ele vai te dar as costas, não é que tá pro outro lado. Ele vai te dar aí, tá? Vai te dar as costas, slow pesado. Aí, isso aí. Ele vai te dar as costas aí, ó. Cata aí, tá? Aí também dá. O americano de braço aí, ó. Aí, vai tirando as costas de novo, tira pras costas dele. Vai pras costas, pra cá. Aí, pitbelt, gancho pra cá agora. Gancho pra cá, não, gancho pra dentro. Joga de gancho. Tira a perna atrás, a outra perna. Aí. Isso aí. O gancho pra cá agora. Faz um fake e joga é pro lado direito. Aí, tá. Aí, isso aí, essa mesmo. Bota o gancho. Tá? Sobe. Isso. Bota o gancho, não. Agarra o pitbelt, vai pra costas de novo. Não perde. Não perde, tá? De novo. Bora. Vai. Vamos. Cai não, vai. Vamos, pesado. Não cai. Bota ele pra trás, tá? Fica pra trás. Vamos. Repõe, tá? Cai daí. Não derruba, não tá ficando mal. Vai sair daí. Vamos. Aí, repõe já. Olha o braço dele. Vamos guardar. Arma entrega aí, ó. Rafa de gancho pra lá. Tá muito aberto aí, então. Vamos ficar mais luta. Vamos, vai. Você tá ganhando, tá? Passa com ele, vai. Aí, leva de garfo, leva. Continua, Thay. Bora, força. Fica no chão. Fica no chão. Vai, vamos. Aí, vamos. Aguarda, toma na perna. Bora, Thaizão, vamos. Busca, sobe. Bora, não para não, tá? Tá ganhando, tá já. Tá ganhando, vamos. Aí, vai, isso, traz. Traz, triângulo aí, fica a perna de dentro. Bora. Aí, pega mais em cima. Vamos. Não para não, pai. Bora, vamos ter que ir pra lá. Pra esquerda. Aí, leva, aí, sobe. Aí, vamos passar agora, Otário, vai. Baixa o quadril. Coloca ele de lado, Otário. De lado, aí. Chega na meia. Não interrompe, Otário. Tira o cara de dentro, Otário. Desce. Aí, baixa o quadril agora. Aí, vamos passar agora. Isso, joelho na barriga dele. Ele vai te dar forte de novo, cara. Mantém ele no chão, cara. Ele vai te dar aí de novo. Não perde mais. Não. Joelho na barriga dele, vai. Aí, vem pra cá. Aí, fique bem. Não perde mais a posição aí, ó. Não pode perder mais, cara. Aí, pega no pulso. Pega no pulso, cara. Aí, isso aí. Aí, tem que continuar. Vai, continua. Boa, cara.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 minutes, the winner via ref decision, Dallas Felipe.
All right, welcome to CES MMA 82. Michael Parenti joined by my broadcast partner Greg Ribbs Rebello. Tonight we're bringing you all the action from the beautiful Park Theater in Cranston, Rhode Island. We want to thank those of you joining us on YouTube Live tonight and those of you joining us on Nesson for the first time. We have an exciting action-packed fight card, 2 amateur bouts coming up first, and then 5 pro bouts, including the long-awaited return of Dennis Sweetbread Priva. It's going to be a real exciting night of action, and of course 2 rising stars in the amateur ranks tonight, Greg, in Dante Del Bonis and Noah Sklama, who could be future CES stars down the road. Tonight they test their wits in the amateur side portion for tonight. So tell us a little bit about what we could expect to see from those 2 in the amateur ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. Both guys that are homegrown right here in Rhode Island. Noah was an excellent wrestler, a standout wrestler at Bishop Hendricken right down the street.
Yeah.
He's 3-1 as an amateur right now and looking to move up the ranks. This is his first fight at the Park Theater. I believe he grappled here at one of the previous events.
That's correct.
And Dante was a standout wrestler at LaSalle Academy. He went on to wrestle Division I college at Sacred Heart. And he's 1-0 as an amateur. And again, another guy with a ton of grappling experience. He's done almost every grappling tournament in New England. And these guys are both 2 of the hottest prospects, definitely in Rhode Island, but if not New England.
And of course, tonight on the main card, our main event tonight is the long-awaited return of Dennis Sweetbread Paiva, the most prolific, most decorated fighter in CES MMA history. For the 22nd time, he steps into the CES cage, and for the last time in his career, after what we thought was his retirement match in 2021. Greg, he's back for one more. You know how it goes. As a pro yourself, that itch is always there to get back in there.
Of course, like we talked earlier, Dennis, married. He just had 2 little kids. But as the kids get a little bit older, things settle in. Dennis is still 36, 37 years old. He's still in his athletic prime. I've been in the gym, and seen him spar over the last few weeks, and he looks just as good, if not better, than he ever has, and he's in unbelievable shape. So, listen, if he wanted to, he could still do a few more, but, I think this might be his last hurrah.
Well, it might be. The outcome could change his mind. We'll see.
I've heard that before, and so haven't you, I think, right? Yeah.
Dennis Paiva taking on AJ Robb in our main event tonight, later to come. But right now, we're getting ready for amateur action. We're going to send it up to our cage announcer, Zach Levake, with the first bout of the night.
Well, let's welcome to the cage, Zadayev Shamil.
Zadayev Shamil making his way to Cranston, Rhode Island by way of Natick, Massachusetts. 2-0 as an amateur. Greg, you and I had a chance to see him most recently at Foxwoods Resort Casino. What does he bring to the table?
Yeah, he defeated Josh Morales by decision. He's 2-0 under the CS banner, both wins by decision. But he was a well-rounded, good wrestler, good striking. This is going to be a great matchup. I mean, I think both of these guys have great wrestling, so could be kind of one of those, nullify each other out, and it turns into a stand-up war.
Now, we want to remind the viewers joining us at home, this is the amateur portion of the card. The number of rounds and the minutes are the same, Greg, but there are some subtle differences between amateur and pros.
Yes, no elbows, no knees to the head. On the amateurs, they got to wear shin pads. The gloves are a little bit bigger, and there's no striking on the ground. There's striking to the body, nothing to the head. Again, no knees, no elbows, no striking to the head on the ground.
It's also worth mentioning it's a very unique perspective here from the Park Theater in Cranston. We're on a stage. It's very much a theater setting in the crowd, and it's a much smaller cage than we've been accustomed to. Certainly, as in your pro career,
Yes.
a much smaller cage than you fought in before.
Yeah, if you look at, CES when they've done shows at, the casinos or the UFC, that those cages are around 30 to 32 feet. This is probably around 24 feet. So for a wrestler, this is great. I mean, you don't really, throw a couple of punches and shoot, and you're against the fence.
Zadiev Shamil just about making his way inside the cage. Again, reminder tonight, proceeds for this bout and for this show go to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund, helping fund the life-changing and game-changing research at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. So you will see throughout the night a QR code on your screen. It's your opportunity to donate. Click through with your phone. Make a donation, big or small. Every little bit helps in the fight against breast cancer and cancer research.
CES does this every year, and it just gets bigger and bigger.
Fight for a Cause 3. And, of course, Zadiev Shamil about to make his way inside the cage. Again, putting that 2-0 amateur record on the line. And, Greg, with some of the subtle differences, and we'll get to this a little bit later on, it would seem that a shorter amateur career is more in the cards for a lot of these fighters. They don't really stick around as long as boxers
No,
do.
it's boxers, some of these guys have 100 amateur fights. They go to nationals. They want to go to the Olympics and compete there. In MMA, you go 4 or 5-0 and you look good. I mean, you can turn pro.
And now coming his opponent, Noah Skiyama.
And here he is, the hometown hero, Noah Skiyama from Cranston, right down the street, featherweight. 3-1 as an amateur. Greg, you know a lot about Noah. He was a Bishop Hendricken graduate. Of course, Bishop Hendricken located just nearby in Warwick, Rhode Island, one of the top high schools, one of the top private schools in Rhode Island. Standout wrestler in high school and brings that same set and same skill set to the cage.
Of course, and he's on a 2-fight win streak. And again, Noah's fought all tough guys as an amateur. Like, this kid doesn't look for easy fights, doesn't look for any layups. Trains with my buddy Matt Santos out of Team Santos, so we know those guys are all excellent grapplers. They're all excellent strikers. So, Noah's a very, very well-rounded kid. And 3-1, man, the future's bright for this kid. Again, like we talked about, he could win a couple more and turn pro if he wants. Either one of these guys.
These amateur shows, these pro-ams rather, if you will, have become a great pipeline and feeder system for CES. They see some of the future getting inside that cage, and a lot of times you and I have called these amateur fights, and a few months down the road, one of those amateurs is making his pro debut.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a great feeder system for CES as they try to replenish their roster moving forward, and for fighters like Noah Skiyama and others, even Zadiev Shamil, an opportunity to show what you can do in front of the big dogs here on this kind of stage. It's a great opportunity.
This is the best way to, to build your promotion, build the pros.
Now, Skiyama did have a grappling match with CES at CES 80, but this will be his first actual amateur bout with CES. So a good opportunity for the powers that be at CES to get a great look. He's a Cranston native, brought a lot of people here to the Park Theater tonight. Could be a very popular fighter once he turns pro. And with CES's track record of promoting in Rhode Island and across New England, this is one of the next young fighters that they want to sign and lock up for a long time.
Absolutely. And Noah's another kid. His fights are always exciting. And he's short. He's 5'6", so for the weight class, he's very muscular. He's fought a lot of taller guys, but he's not afraid to strike. He's not afraid to get in there. He's an excellent wrestler and an excellent grappler as well.
All right, here we go. Noah Skiyama making his way inside the cage. We're going to make our way back to the center. Let's send it up to Zach Levake for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first amateur fight of the evening is a 3-round battle in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner with a 2-0 record. He weighed 145 pounds, fighting out of Natick, Mass, Zadiev Shamil. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a 3-1 record. He weighed in at 144 1/2 pounds, fighting out of your Cranston, Rhode Island, Noah Skiyama.
Here we go, just about to get underway. 3 rounds in the featherweight division in our first amateur bout of the evening. Michael Parenti, once again joined by Greg Ribbs Rebello, the former CES MMA heavyweight title holder.
Yes, sir. 3 3-minute rounds. Rounds are a little bit shorter than the pros. So you look for the guys to push the pace in the amateurs. Yeah, but you can see Noah coming out looking for that clinch.
Big right hand early by
Oh,
Noah,
yeah.
too.
And now Shamil looking for the takedown. Like I said, both guys wrestling backgrounds. Shamil. Good takedown defense by Noah. And again, you can knee to the body, but not to the head. But if you see a guy shooting in, you know, a lot of times the referee's going to say, you know, it's not his fault, the guy on the offense throwing it.
It's a slippery slope, and it's a judgment call, obviously, by the official, but they've been on top of these for a long time, and typically we don't see anybody get robbed, per se, of an outcome.
Noah looking for a 2-on-1 here. Nice knee to the body by Shamil. Shamil's looking to take him down off the fence. Noah's got the left underhook. He's going to look to sit towards his left and circle back to the center or put Shamil against the fence. But Shamil's doing a great job with head position and shoulder pressure here against the fence. Just throwing knees to the legs, knees to the body. And there goes Noah scooting out to the left. But this is a grueling pace here. These guys fighting for takedowns, getting underhooks, getting off the fence.
And this is kind of what we expected given their
Absolutely,
background.
yeah. No.
A lot of times you'll see two wrestlers and it becomes a striking match early on, but we're getting exactly what we expected here.
Yeah, both these guys are great wrestlers.
Knee again upstairs by
Noah shoots
Shamil.
a single leg there. Shamil's doing a great job of stuffing that head. But Noah's looking to ride that pipe. He's going to try to circle to that leg. As he circles to the leg here, pushing him up against the fence. A great job by Shamil. He's got a good whizzer. He's going to look to stuff the head against the fence here. Now Shamil's going to grab onto that ankle so Noah can't use it. He can't explode off of it. You can hear Noah's corner wants him to kind of disengage, come back up to the clinch and disengage and fire a shot, and then shoot back in. But neither guy obviously looking for the takedowns. They can't land him here. Another nice knee to the body. Noah again with the left underhook. Both guys are, you know, very difficult to take down with the wrestling backgrounds. Noah again is going to look 10 seconds left. He's going to look to circle to his left. Yep, there he goes, circle off to the left. Good job by Shamil with the head pressure.
There's the bell for round one. Again, those knees by Shamil done a nice job softening up Sciamma.
Big mouse under the left eye, Shamil.
Good opening round here by both. And again, we saw the wrestling background really play into the strategy here in round one.
Yeah, so that's exciting stuff there. I love to see it. Neither guy was able to land a takedown, or if they got a takedown, you know, Noah was able to scramble right back to his feet. Very close round, tough to call.
Anyway, thank everybody for joining us here tonight on Nesson as we bring you CES MMA 82, Fight for a Cause 3. Make sure to pay attention to the screen throughout the night when you see that timer on your screen, the QR code. There's your opportunity to donate to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund to help fund research at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. And there it is right there on your screen.
As you can see here, Shamil's corner, he's got a really big mouse under that left eye. They're trying to cater to that.
Round number 2 about to get underway. This one's scheduled for 3. Michael Parenti and Greg Ribello bringing you the action here at CES 82.
Both guys in great shape. See him still bouncing. Shamil looking for that inside kick.
Oh, and he takes
right
a pound. Upstairs kick.
Front kick right to the chest. Yeah.
Wow.
Noah bounces right back up.
Sure.
You can see Shamil, they must have made that adjustment. He's starting to throw some low kicks.
And you mentioned that well on the eye of Shamil. I think that was that early right hand that Sciamma landed on the opening
right
bell.
off the bat. Could have been. But Noah's going to start feinting, and you're going to see him start. He loves to explode with the big punches here. You see him feinting up and down, level changes.
Ooh.
Oh, nice double leg there.
And Sciamma went upstairs with the right hand.
And again, with the wrestling, you see him scramble right back to the fence. Both guys.
It's good, well timed.
They do a great job of doing this. You scramble, you're right to the fence. Noah's going to look to get a whizzer with the left side. He's going to want to get his back to the fence. He doesn't want Shamil on his back. Yep, so he's getting his left arm over the top. Underhook, left whizzer right there. Now Shamil, beautiful job circling him back. Yep, good scramble by Noah. Looking to get his guard retention here.
Well, he can't strike while he's on the ground.
Nope. Only strikes to the body, huh? Shamil's really crafty with the trips, as you can see in the clinch. Noah's got double unders, pressing him against the fence. Now he's going to trip back towards his right side when he trips.
He's got that left leg hooked, and he gets him down.
To the right side. Now he's in half guard.
90 seconds to go in round 2.
Yep.
Again, just to reset, Noah Skiyama in the black trunks.
His coach is telling him punch him in the face, but I think it's only punches.
Can't do it. Yeah.
You see Noah pushing on the knee here, trying to step him out. Great job by Shamil recognizing that.
Shamil on the bottom of the blue trunks
nice
now flips.
Shamil,
yeah.
Noah again going to go to the fence. Shamil jumps on his back. A little high. Noah shucks him off. You can see both these guys great grapplers. I mean, they're both very aware of the situation here. Well, I thought they said no punches to the face.
I thought so too, but Skiyama hammering away here in the final minute. Either the rules have changed or they're not noticing or they're letting it go, but looks like they're going to step in here.
That's it.
And that's going to do it.
That's a tough.
Noah Skiyama with the victory.
Shamil was locking up an armbar, but he was getting wailed on. You know, that's kind of one of those. Listen, in the amateur fights, a lot of the referees will stop these fights early.
Yeah.
You know, they don't give them the opportunity like they do in the pros.
Good 4 or 5 unanswered strikes getting through there for Skiyama.
Exactly.
The referee decided that was enough, and that's going to do it. So Noah Skiyama in his CES amateur debut gets the victory. Well earned in the second round. Just a great overall performance.
And honestly, it's a great performance from both guys. I mean, both these guys look great. The wrestling scrambles were fantastic. But Noah's he's a prospect to be on the lookout for. Huh?
Definitely a bright future for Noah Skiyama. We'll see how long he does stay in the amateur ranks. At some point, he'll make that climb. But for now, still just dominating at this level. And with that, we're going to send it back up to Zach LeVake with the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes and 25 seconds into round number 2. Your winner via strikes, Noah Skiyama. And now let's welcome our next combatant to the cage, Joe Kayamba.
Making his amateur debut from Seattle, Washington is Joe Kayamba. And joining you right now here on Nesson, Michael Parenti and Greg Ribbs-Rebello bringing you the action here at CES 82. This is the second of 2 amateur bouts before we get to our stacked pro card. And Greg, we saw a great one in the first go-around with Noah Skiyama getting the victory.
Yep.
Amateur debut, do you remember yours?
I didn't have an amateur debut.
No.
Back in 2005, I went right to the pros. I wish I had an amateur debut so I could, kind of get the butterflies out and everything here.
It's a different game.
It is. Joe Kayamba, they said it's his amateur debut, but I did some research, and he's definitely fought in a cage. I don't know if it was an unsanctioned or a smoker, but I was able to get the whole video, and he looked good, great striking, and he ended up finishing the fight with a rear naked choke, so he ended up submitting the guy.
So don't believe everything you read online.
Yes,
no, you
so
sometimes can get fooled into
thinking.
He
is a very high-level striker. I know he was competed at a very high level in Taekwondo. His kicks, very fast, very athletic, very big and tall for the weight class. Again, this seems to be another striker versus grappler matchup.
And now make some noise for his opponent, Dante Del Bonis.
And you hear that roar from the crowd for the hometown favorite, Dante Del Bonis from Cranston, Rhode Island, the home of the Park Theater where we are tonight. 1-0 as an amateur. He won his amateur debut at CES 81 in just 49 seconds with a rear naked choke. Greg, so many accolades to talk about with Dante Del Bonis, a tremendous grappler, grappled 3 times at CES before making his AMI debut. Yep. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt, tremendous standout wrestler at Sacred Heart University. Really just a total package when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, these new wave of guys coming into MMA, you see a lot of the top guys that are going to the UFC, they came out of a collegiate career of wrestling. And Dante wrestled at a very high level, Division I, But he's got a ton of experience with kickboxing, too. He's got 4 or 5 boxing smokers. He's competed on every grappling circuit from here to California. The kid's got a ton of experience and a very bright future for this kid.
Familiar face applying the Vaseline there. That's Gary Boletto III.
Double champ.
Double champion for CES MMA, also an accomplished boxer with CES Boxing.
Yeah.
And right now starring in bare knuckle fighting. So he is making his rounds in different formats and platforms. Dante Del Bonis outside getting some last-minute instructions, and CES obviously hoping to keep him within the family and one day be there in that same corner when he eventually makes his professional debut, which could come at any time. As you mentioned, Greg, during the Open, amateur careers in MMA do not last as long as they do in boxing.
No, of course, and it's tough to find fights. Somebody could look Dante up, Division I wrestler, and I get it. They're going to stay away from that until they get some experience. So, Dante wins this fight or another couple. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he turns pro.
CES MMA president Jimmy Birchfield Sr. in the background, keeping a close eye on Del Bonis, one of the prized prospects coming out of New England. CES trying to really replenish that roster from some of the years of fighters who have graduated and gone on to the UFC or have retired. And this right now, Del Bonis really representing the new wave as we start getting ready for the future of CES MMA. With that, let's send it back up to Zach Levake for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our second amateur bout of the evening. It is a 3-round battle in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his amateur debut. He weighed in at 183 pounds, fighting out of Seattle, Washington, Joe Kayamba. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a 1-0 record, weighing in at 184 pounds, fighting out of York, Cranston, Rhode Island, Dante the Barbarian Del Bonis. Referee Jordan Riley.
Here we go, ready for amateur bout number 2. Dante Del Bonis taking on Joe Kayamba from Seattle.
Now the striker versus grappler matchup. Last fight was 2 wrestlers. But this, I expect to see Dante look for a takedown here.
And there it is.
Immediately. Didn't last too long. Joe doing the right thing, trying to stuff the head and work his way back to the fence. But Dante is relentless with these takedowns here. And he's going to try to look to settle Joe here. But Joe's doing a great job of getting up and getting back to his feet.
And Greg, is it tougher for somebody like Dante in this smaller cage, not a lot of real estate?
I think it's easier because it depends, because some wrestlers prefer to be, when you wrestle typically in college or in high school, you're wrestling on a mat. There's no fence. But Dante's adapted well to the MMA, and a lot of guys like to use the fence for their takedowns. So it depends. It's kind of a preference.
Del Bonis climbing on top of Kayamba.
Yep, this is one of his favorite chokes. He's going to look to jump on the back. But Joe's doing a great job here. He's going to try to look to break that grip against the fence. But Dante's comfortable here. But Joe's very tall. As you can see, he's having trouble jumping on his back. In Dante's last fight, his first fight that he finished, that was a little short. He jumped right in his back and won by a rear naked choke. But he's going to look to put his left over Dante's head. He wants to try to get that whizzer and try to get his head on the inside. Or you're going to go 2-on-1 here against the fence and try to break away. But this is a big chess match here because Joe doesn't want to make any mistakes. But he's doing the right thing. 2-on-1 here. Dante's still looking to jump to the back. A break from the back. Interesting. I've never seen that, to be honest.
Referee breaks up. We reset with 90 seconds to go in round 1.
Yeah, Joe's probably going to look for some front kicks.
Oh, big kick upstairs, and he catches him. And Del Bonis is in some trouble. They're calling timeout.
Timeout, yeah. No kicks to the face, right? Timeout for a kick to the face.
Kayamba pleading his case, referee not having any of it.
Wait, what is he saying now? Oh, so these kicks to the face. I think when he went to the ground, he punched in the face. So in this match, I believe because Dante only has 1 amateur fight, you can't punch to the face on the ground. Once you have Noah Scalmo is 3-1. Once you have 2 amateur fights or 3, then you can punch to the ground.
Very interesting turn of events
So
here.
the, front
Bonus.
kick, so the front kick to the face, you see Dante fall down.
Yes.
Right? And then he goes on and starts, I think he punched him in the face a couple of times. That happened so fast. So you cannot strike to the head in these amateurs in the ground.
I wonder if it's just instinct sometimes with the fighter. You
No, of
see
course.
a downed
Yeah, of
opponent,
course.
and your instinct is to go in there and finish the fight, but within the rules of the amateur circuit. So Delbonis gets as much time as he wants to recover. Referee says he is taking
He
the
is
point,
taking
and
a
there it
point.
is. So Kayumba's going to lose that point for the strike for what we believe is while Delbonis was on the ground. And here we go. Action resumes. 1 minute to go here in the opening round. And again, the kick upstairs. Delbonis goes down, but now he wraps up the leg.
But Dante's comfortable here.
Yeah. Kayumba seems like he's not sure what the rules are.
And that's what I mean. I don't know if there's no leg locks here on the ground because of the shin pads.
Sloppy scramble, but Kayumba breaks free. Referee's going to let Delbonis get back to his feet.
Oh,
Bleeding from the eye, and he's going to stop it.
Yep.
So it looks like Kayumba's going to get the victory.
Anytime an amateur starts to bleed or there's a cut, they're going to stop that fight.
And that cut, I believe, was the result of the first front kick earlier in the round.
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah,
he tried to keep going forward.
It could have been that. It could have been the punch on the ground. It could have been any one of them.
And you see it from here, a lot of blood coming from that left eye of Dante Delbonis. A tough break for Delbonis here in his homecoming at the Park Theater in Cranston. Took a couple of face kicks from Kayumba, and that's all she wrote. Referee stops it with just under a minute to go in the opening round. Here's some replay action here, Greg.
So let's see the front kick here.
That's
initially,
the
that
first.
I mean, it looks like
that's the second one.
Yes, but he was the first one. He's bleeding out of the mouth, so it might be that second one because you can see his eyes starting to bleed fresh now here. Huh?
I believe this is the first one.
This is the first one.
Oh,
that's to the mouth. Yeah,
wow.
so that's to the mouth, and then the punch is here on top.
And
so
the
you can't
punches
punch to
is
the head.
where
That's why they stopped it, and you can see Dante saying it's illegal.
And it did seem like for a minute, Greg, too, that Kayumba not sure what to do after that second front kick or what the rules might be. There was some confusion there, I think, on that part, and perhaps it wasn't explained well enough. But in any event, Joe Kayumba gets the victory over Dante Delbonis. Fight stopped due to the cuts. Let's send it back up to our cage announcer, Zach Levake, for the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes and 19 seconds into round number 1. Your winner via TKO, Joe Kayumba.
So 2:19 into round number 1, the victory for Joe Kayumba. Tough break for Dante Delbonis as he tries to progress in his amateur career. Certainly will reset and go back to the drawing board to see what went wrong there. That's what amateurs are for.
This is what amateurs are for. Yep, you get in there against a tough kid.
And that's how it goes. Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more to come on Nesson as we get ready for the start of our pro card here at CES 82.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CES MMA 82. And welcome to our pro card, 5 amazing fights. So let's start by welcoming Kyle Linder.
Here comes Kyle Linder from Hartford, Connecticut. Brings a record of 0-2 to the cage, trying to get win number 1 in his career. 28 years of age, Greg. Last time we saw him fight was in 2022. He lost by submission. However, he did make his pro debut at CES in 2021. That was all the way back at CES 64. He lost to Harris Bonfilio by rear naked choke in the first round. That's a very tough opponent, by the way.
Harris is that's no slouch. Well, they haven't announced his Niaz here, but this is Kyle.
This is certainly Kyle.
And you see him with the Texera shirt on, and he's got a UFC veteran in his corner, so maybe he's switched to Team Texera. They got him out of Hartford, Connecticut, but online it says Tennessee, so I'm assuming maybe he moved.
Oh, for a while he
he's in good hands. Yeah.
He did fight out of Knoxville, Tennessee for a while as an amateur before he made the pro ranks. Yeah. And now he's here in Hartford training, and it's where he lives and where he fights out of. So an opportunity for him to make his rounds on the New England circuit. Yeah. Again, we mentioned a very tough pro debut bout against Harris Bonfilio, who was 2-1 at the time.
Absolutely.
So perhaps in over his head early, but trying to re-regulate, get victory number 1. And once you get number 1, you never know how far you can go.
But he was 5-0 as an amateur, so I mean, he's definitely had a good record as an amateur. He's a good wrestler, good striking. But it's been some time out of the cage. Obviously, the ring rust could be a factor. But he's at the right gym. Those guys have a lot of great training partners and obviously top-level coaches down there.
As we did mention, it's been about 3 years since he's been in the cage, so it's an opportunity to get some ring rust off, or cage rust, if you will, and get an opportunity to perhaps get into the win column for the first time as a pro. Had a very good amateur career before he turned pro, and perhaps that's what fueled him to take those early tests in his career. Didn't work out the way he hoped. Sometimes you need that time off to reset, find a new team, and make a change in life.
Yeah,
going
absolutely.
forward.
Sometimes that's all it takes. You know, you get new coaches, new camp. You just need a little bit of a change-up.
And now next to the cage, his opponent, Nayaz Ahmed.
Nayaz Ahmed from Queens, New York. He brings a record of 2-4 to the cage, 29 years of age, trains out of Longo's MMA. That was the gym co-founded by Ray Longo and then former UFC champ Matt Serra, so you know there's a good training pedigree there. Nayaz has not had a lot of pro fights, but a lot of grappling. He's actually had 13 grappling matches in the last 10 months.
Yeah, a ton of grappling experience.
Which is a lot of grappling.
He's done, which is good. You know, and it's grappling in the cage, too, as well.
Last time he fought in pro MMA was February 15th. He won by a rear naked choke against Caleb Chalk. That was in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
He's come all the way back, and he's in Rhode Island now trying to get victory number 3 in the cage. We mentioned that he is heavy into grappling. We talked about that pedigree he had. And now before his last pro fight, which was in February, he hadn't fought since 2022 as a pro. But he stayed busy in grappling, at least close to 30 grappling matches since 2023. So he's been a little bit more active than Lindner. We'll see if that makes a difference tonight.
He stayed busy. And again, this seems to be another grappler, jiu-jitsu versus wrestling type of a matchup here.
Now, granted, it is a different setting, Greg, and the rules are different in grappling as they are in mixed martial arts. But being active like that can still be beneficial.
Oh, absolutely. No, it keeps the rust off. But again, when you're getting punched in the face, it's a little bit different when you're getting kicked in the leg and knee and you got to clinch.
Yeah, we'll see
it's
how
a little bit different.
We'll see how both guys adjust. With that, we're ready to go. Let's send it back up to Zach Levake for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first pro fight is a 3-round battle in the flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner in his 3rd professional fight. He weighed in at 133 pounds. Fighting out of Hartford, Connecticut, Kyle Linder. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a 2-4 professional record, fighting out of Queens, New York. He weighed in at 132 pounds. Nayaz, the Bengal Tiger Ahmed.
Here we go. Ahmed taking on Linder. Ahmed in the blue and white trunks. Kyle Linder in the black. 3 rounds in the flyweight division here in our opening pro bout at CES 82. Once again, we thank you for joining us on Nesson. Michael Parenti, Greg Ribs Rebello bringing you the action, and here we go.
All right, there's a little kick. We could see Kyle going right after the wrestling. Double unders, beautiful takedown.
Nice takedown. A couple of big right hands early, snuck in there for the takedown. Good start for Linder.
Yep.
And now some ground and pound.
But Nayaz with the jiu-jitsu background, he should be pretty comfortable here.
Once again, 3 5-minute rounds in a difference from the amateur circuit.
Yep.
A lot more time for both
Knees
fighters.
to the head, elbows on the ground.
Everything goes.
Now he's looking for a heel hook here. Huh? He's got his leg trapped. So. Kyle's going to separate the legs and just land on top.
Good early start here for Kyle Linder. Got that quick takedown just seconds into the bout.
He's looking to pass the side control here. Huh? But here you can see, you can tell his coach, you can hear his coach telling him, ground and pound. Don't just focus on the grappling. When you start posturing up and punching, you get a lot of openings to pass rather than just trying to force it. There's the pass here to side control.
And it's something that's worth emphasizing, just staying busy while you're on the ground.
Yeah.
All those little punches and those knees add up.
And they create openings for you to pass or for you to submit somebody. He's looking to hook that head. With the right under the gear, just staying busy with punches. Probably going to set up a knee on belly here. Good job by Nye. Getting his guard back. Ooh, good shot there. Huh?
Hammer fist raining down from Kyle Linder.
Not much landing. He's covering up pretty well. He's got his guard back here. And again, he's comfortable here. As you can see, he's not panicking.
Well, when you consider 30 grappling matches over the last 2 years, you know
he's
Ahmed is
that
comfortable.
leg lock as well. Good defense by Kyle. Looking for the leg lock again. Good defense. And now he's right back to his feet, and he's got double hooks now against the fence.
Yeah, nice job by Ahmed. You're seeing that grappling experience.
But Kyle, the wrestler, he's got good whizzer here. He's going to have good takedown defense. It's going to be difficult to take down.
Halfway through round 1, again, we're scheduled for 3 in the flyweight division. Kyle Lindner in the black trunks taking on Naiz Ahmed in the blue and white. Good early action here in this first round.
And if I'm Naiz, I'm breaking away and striking. Landed a couple of good kicks. Good knee to the head, huh?
Ahmed's got some height in those
nice
knees,
elbow
couple of
there.
elbows to the
Yep.
jaw.
See, that's the thing. When you got that left underhook, you can break away and sneak that right elbow right over the top. Good knees. Nice. See Kyle uses that left underhook and turn him in the fence. Now he's looking for that knee to the head, though.
Those
Sneaky,
knees
yeah.
by Ahmed, they get upstairs quickly.
He scoots right down for the double.
Good
Gets it.
takedown.
Now he's with the butterfly hooks. He's going to look to elevate him and probably go to that leg again. He keeps elevating that right leg straight up in the air, and he's going to hook and go to that right leg lock. There we go. Up to the armbar this time. Defended. And now he's just crafty on the ground. He's not just sitting here laying on his back. He's looking for subs. Very comfortable off his back. Good ground upon here by Kyle. Posturing up. You're going to see him drive. You drive that head into the fence. He can't, he can't sit out. He can't scoot. He can't shrimp. So it's going to kind of nullify a lot of those submissions.
Not a lot of real estate in this cage either.
Not a lot of place to move. But here you can see him ground upon a nice elbow over the top. He almost is kind of trapped here. Now he's going to try to look to create some sort of an angle.
There he goes. Get that right foot out. Push him away.
Ooh,
nice trip attempt.
Like a John Wick move.
Now he's, like you mentioned, Greg, very crafty on the ground is Ahmed.
Yeah, you see how comfortable he is here, and he's looking for that leg lock again. Kyle's defended it, 3 or 4 times here.
Almost dragged Lindner into a submission attempt. 52 seconds to go in round 1 now. Lindner trying to ground and pound again. Ahmed covers up nicely.
Kyle's almost looking for a Darce choke here, but he's got that left arm in, so he's not going to be able to get it. But he's looking for it. That's a wrestler's favorite. Head and arm, Darce choke. Here, same thing. You can hear his coaches just yell, just ground and pound. Stop just searching for submissions. Try to beat him up a little bit.
A few of those right hands are sneaking through for Lindner.
Yeah, and he's
overall pretty good defense by Ahmed.
Yep, no, and you see Ahmed's comfortable here. He's not panicking. 10 seconds. Yeah, he's covering up. A lot of those elbows aren't getting through.
No.
Doesn't mean they don't hurt. But
there's the bell for round 1. Good opening round for Kyle Lindner. A couple of takedowns. But Ahmed comfortable on the ground.
Comfortable on the ground, but Kyle had a lot of top position in that first round. Landed a lot of good punches.
Meet the fighters and
he kind of imposes will. You can tell he wants to wrestle. Goes out, big punches, gets takedowns.
There's that big takedown. That was the first takedown in the opening seconds.
Yeah.
You see Lindner trying to land those elbows, sneak through that guard from Ahmed, but Ahmed did a good job covering up.
Getting guard retention. As you can see here, he's got his head trapped against the fence. See, here's where you really want to ground and pound. But he got a little up kick to the face.
A little up kick to the face there.
And then the John Wick kick. There it is.
Some craftiness from Ahmed on the ground. We'll see if he can actually keep the fight standing up in round number 2. However, he does look comfortable in that position.
No, he does. Big mouse under the left eye of Kyle over here.
And sometimes I think on the ground, a fighter like Ahmed may be able to draw somebody like Lindner in, maybe take advantage of his over-aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's where you can trap somebody in a submission attempt. So we'll see how round number 2 plays out, but we're about to get ready here for the second of 3.
He's got to know that he's down 1 round, so I'm expecting to see a sense of urgency here from Naiz.
Ahmed, as we mentioned, a record of 2-4. Fighting out of Queens, New York, fighting out of Longo's MMA. He's coming off a win in February. Lindner hasn't fought professionally since 2022. So he's trying to get off the schneid and get victory 1. A couple of rights or less here now by Ahmed.
He comes out hard. He almost looked for the Showtime kick, I think. Gets taken down, but guard retention immediately. So Kyle's kind of going right back where he finished round 1. Punches to the body, trying to loosen him up. And you can hear his coaches yelling, keep the punches going. Keep the ground and pound going.
Very similar start in round 2 to what we saw in round 1. Michael Parenti, Greg Ribello bringing you the action here on Nesson at CES 82. live from the Park Theater in Cranston, Rhode Island.
He's trying to beat elbows right up the middle. But now he's doing a great job defending. He's kind of got that high guard here on the bottom.
Once again, we remind you, you see that QR code on the screen next to the timer. Scan it, donate to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund. So we continue to provide donations to fund breast cancer awareness and research at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute.
Look at those knees from the body, from the ground. I like that.
Now, again, as we mentioned, Ahmed's comfortable here, but this is not a good position to be in.
I mean, here, you know, in MMA, you're not winning. If you're taking punches from the bottom and you're just defending, you're not winning. So he's, you know, if this stays like this, he's down 2 rounds to nothing here.
What's he need to do here?
He's
exactly
there's
the up kick.
Try to get an up kick. Try to, you know, get your feet on his hips and kick him off and get back to your feet. As you saw him, he came out in the first round, ran into a couple low kicks. Second round, he came out and he was aggressive with the hands. He's got to get back to that.
That up kick caught Linder's attention. But Linder right back to where, and he sees some blood, by the way, here.
Well, Linder's got that. He's got that big mouse under his left eye. Huh?
You see a little blood on the forearm of Ahmed, probably from Linder, and maybe that up kick rather, may have busted him open. We can't really see from this angle.
He's searching. You see him trying to set up that arm for an arm bar here, but
looks like that left eye, Greg, bleeding pretty badly. It looks like it's on the side of the eye. It's hard to tell from this angle, but Linder definitely bleeding here in round 2.
You can see he's putting his head right underneath that chin, and he's going to try to punch over the top.
2 minutes into round number 2.
With good control. I mean, Linder's, you know, he's winning this fight.
He's in control of the fight, absolutely.
Just keep repeating the position, keep punching. Ahmed's going to get a little sense of urgency. We're halfway through this round, but you can see the blood coming
up.
It's
a lot of blood.
But those elbows are key, because if he can open up that mouse. Oh, right to mount. Nice pass.
Linder bleeding profusely, but in control of the fight.
Yep.
Both fighters covered in blood. Linder again trying the ground and pound. Here comes the hammer fist. Starting to sneak through a little more here.
Yep,
I think it's just part of that fatigue that starts to set in. It takes a lot of work, Greg, and a lot of energy to defend.
Absolutely. And a good wrestler, heavy position, using all that weight, it's going to wear on you. Yeah, he's starting to really open up now. Huh?
More ground and pound from Linder. More active, more are getting through.
He goes right, trying to go right back to that leg lock. Yeah, he's got a good scramble. He uses that butterfly guard to spin.
And now Ahmed with a couple of elbows from his back.
From his back, he's going to want to look to elbow that mouse and try to. And obviously, he did cut it open. We'll see how bad it is.
I still think it might have been that up kick earlier in the round.
Again.
Yeah, hard to tell.
Good defense by Kyle. Pulls that arm out. He throws that right elbow every time he ducks his head down. But you can hear Kyle's corner yelling him, pass to that half guard and just stay there. Then you can ground a pound from there. Yep, there he goes to the half. But he's got to press that leg back. Presses the leg back. Now he passes the side control.
There it is. 1 minute to go here, round 2.
And now here, when he gets in side control, I would rather see Kyle start ground and pounding there. He rushes and tries to go to mount. So he's trying to go from position to position. The best thing to do is go to position, start ground and pounding from there, and then pass. Lands in side control here. This is nice.
Linder dodged an up kick, and then we're right back to work with the ground and pound. Ahmed just covering up. They're not really getting through, but
if he keeps doing this, the ref's going to stop.
If he doesn't answer, he'll have to stop it. Brian Miner hovering over the action.
But he sees nothing's really landing too significant now.
More forearms and elbows from Linder.
Here comes the dart stroke again. He's going to set it up.
35 seconds. We'll see if Ahmed can survive the final 35. And if that's the case, Linder's team will have a lot of work to do in between rounds to try to close up that cut if it gets that far.
Because we can't really see how bad. He's had his head ducked down the whole time.
Exactly.
Can't see how bad it is. Again for the leg lock. Defended for the probably about 10th time. This.
Ahmed trying to land that elbow to the rib cage. 10 seconds to go here.
Oh, now Kyle's starting to go for a footlock of his own. Trying to go for a heel hook here.
And there's the bell.
Those heel stomps are illegal to the body.
Another good round for Kyle Linder despite getting busted open. A lot of blood on the canvas, a lot of blood on both fighters. And we'll take a look here at some of the action going back to round number 2. This is the opening bell for round 2. You see Ahmed coming in swinging.
Right firing.
Wide hooks.
Look for a little Showtime Pettis kick off there. Got to keep it simple.
Yeah, the timing wasn't quite right, and as he came down, Linder got the takedown, and this is really how this round went.
Yeah.
And now you fast forward, you see that blood again over both fighters. And that was right toward the end of the round there when Lindner ducked or dodged out of the way of that second up kick attempt and then went right back to work with the ground and pound.
Yeah, he's landed the good elbows and he keeps looking to spin for those leg locks, but it's not working. You know, he's got to try to go for something else. He's got to try to keep this fight in the feet. You can see how big the mouse is on Kyle's left eye, and they haven't iced it, which is kind of surprising.
We'll see if they did enough to at least stop the bleeding momentarily. I'm sure with anything slight in round 3. That cut will open back up. Ringside physician is taking a look at it here before we get started with round 3. Dr. Peter de Blasio asking how many fingers am I holding up.
He's good. They cleared him.
Looks like Lindner passed the test. He's going to get ready to go here for round number 3. Third and final round.
Above the eyebrow, too, from that elbow.
There's a mouse below the eye and then a cut above the eyebrow.
Now this more sense of urgency even here with this. He's got to come out firing.
So we'll see what kind of strategy Ahmed has. By all accounts, he's down 2 rounds in this fight and needs to come out firing. Now he goes for the takedown.
Gets it. He sneaks over the half guard here.
Now we'll see what Ahmed can do in this position now.
Kyle gives up his back.
Yeah, trying to take his
look
back.
To stand up. A lot of wrestlers, they're comfortable doing that. Elbows on the other side of the other eye.
Now we'll see if Ahmed can go to work on Lindner. Trying to sneak those hammer fists in on both sides.
He's got the rear naked choke in.
He's got a choke locked in pretty good here.
Yep, he's got it.
And now he gets him back down. Yeah. This is a tough spot here for Kyle Lindner. Ahmed gets the early takedown. Lindner in some trouble, and that's going to do it.
Yeah. Oh, man, it looked like Brian Meyer thought he was done. I couldn't really see it. Because it looked like he tried to wave his arm in, and it wasn't moving.
Brian Miner calls it off. Kyle Lindner pleading his case. I'm not sure if Miner says that Lindner verbally tapped or if he called a stop to the action.
And, you saw him shake his hand, and he wasn't really moving it, but he also had that arm trapped.
I mean, Lindner is in a heated argument here with official Brian Miner. Not happy with the call, obviously.
No. Yeah, that's tough. It's
tough. Miner, rather Lindner was up. Sure, you certainly feel.
He's up 2 rounds to none. In the third round, he gets taken down there, and then it's one of those kind of like double-edged sword.
So the fight is stopped.
Rear naked choke, yeah.
Nayez Ahmed is going to get the victory. That's going to be win number 3. So rear naked choke submission. Again, Kyle Lindner pleading his case that he did not submit or that the fight should continue. Not really quite sure what the argument is, but in any event, Lindner is heated and has to calm down.
And as he should be. I get it. I couldn't really see I couldn't see if he went out. Sometimes guys go out and then they wake right back up.
And I think that's what Brian Miner was checking for as he was shaking that arm to see if he was still conscious. And he was conscious.
But the left arm I think he was shaking was trapped. You could see it trapped with Naiz had his leg and he trapped it.
So a big turn of events here as Ahmed, who was down 2 rounds going into the third, needed something big and he got it.
Like I said, you came out winging shots and shot a takedown and got it. Moves to the back. And then Kyle made a couple of mistakes and allowed him to get underneath the neck.
And that's going to do it. With that, we're going to send it back up to Zaklavik.
Into round number 3. Your winner via technical submission, Nayez, the Bengal Tiger Ahmed. And now let's welcome our next fighter to the cage, Travis Floyd.
Making his way to the cage from Atlanta, Georgia, the 35-year-old southpaw Travis Floyd A 1-4 record in MMA. However, very prolific pro boxer. 22 boxing
ton
fights.
Of boxing fights, as you can see. Yeah.
He's had 22. He's 4-16-2 overall in boxing. His last MMA fight, however, was in February of 2022, and since then he's really transitioned exclusively to boxing. Hasn't won a pro MMA fight in quite some time. However, he's had 21 fights in the last year and a half. He has stayed incredibly busy
18
between
months. Yeah, that's
MMA, between boxing, even bare knuckle. He's had a couple of bare knuckle fights as well. This is his 5th bout competitive in combat sports of 2025, and he's had 17 fights in general since January of 2024. So there are a few guys busier than Travis Floyd.
Yeah, he's not scared to take fights and sign contracts,
No.
I guess. Huh?
And by the way, he has another bout scheduled against 6-0 Aaron Anderson in Philly. That's a boxing match on November 22nd if he gets through this one unscathed. So Travis Floyd brings a lot to the table. Not quite sure what the skill set looks like, but he's super busy, super active. And I think sometimes, Greg, that experience does speak volumes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, he's not.
He's got it.
I mean, he's going to be very comfortable in there. I don't think he's nervous to jump in here. I mean, he's had so many fights over the last 18 months. But, again, boxer, Tyreem DeSilva is obviously very well-rounded.
Sure.
More of a submission guy. As he's still got the Halloween mask. I like it.
Sure. Little delayed Halloween celebration for his coach. Why not? Floyd, of course, again, as we mentioned, super active, super busy. Making his Rhode Island debut. He's been almost everywhere. Very well traveled. First time here in the States, or at least in this state, I should say.
Yes.
And now coming to the cage, his opponent, Tyreem DeSilva.
For those of you joining us on Nesson, we talked about this in the open. Tyreem DeSilva, the Dream, 5-0, 2 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission. He comes from Providence, Rhode Island. Greg, he represents part of the future of CES MMA and MMA in the Northeast. We've seen so much of Tyreem in the past. What kind of skill set does he bring to the table?
Yeah, I've seen Tyreem since he was a young kid and first started training. He's very well-rounded, excellent striker, but it's his grappling. I mean, the kid's got one of the best guillotines, and he continuously goes for it. I mean, I don't know how many he's had a lot of fights that he's won by guillotine, whether it's amateur or pro. But he's an excellent grappler. I mean, I expect Tyreem to try to get this fight to the ground and set up one of those submissions. Now, training in Florida, obviously at one of the best gyms. One of the best gyms in the country, if not the world. So, I mean, I expect him to be a little bit more well-rounded as well. So, we haven't seen him fight here in quite some time.
No, it's been a while. Last time he fought was June 14th, and he won that fight, of course, by submission against Ronnie Hearns. But this is going to be his 5th appearance with CES. He's only had 1 fight outside of the promotion. And that fight that we saw in June actually ended a 2-year layoff. So, you're right.
Yeah.
He has not been super active, only 1 fight in about 2.5 years. So, at his age, Greg, he's 31. This is really the time that he wants to get going.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll see if it begins
this is the
tonight.
time you want to stay busy and start to get some big fights under your belt.
Let's send it up to Zach LeVake, who's got our official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight is a 3-round battle in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner with a 3-5 professional record, 1 knockout. He weighed in at 142 pounds, standing 5 foot 8 inches tall. He fights out of Atlanta, Georgia, Travis Floyd. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a 5-0 professional record. He weighed in at 145 pounds. He stands 5 foot 9 inches. Fighting out of your Providence, Rhode Island, Tyreem DeSilva.
Here we go. 3 rounds in the featherweight division. Tyreem DeSilva in the multicolored trunks, taking on Travis Floyd in the black trunks. Michael Parenti and Greg Rubello bringing you all the action here on Nesson at CES 82 from the Park Theater in Cranston.
Travis coming out with a really low stance. You can see he's kind of preparing for a takedown. And Tyreem's looking for that clinch, trying to initiate it. He's going to pull on that plum, probably go, oh, don't shoot his takedown. Sometimes he doesn't go for that guillotine.
Yeah. Good early takedown defense there by Floyd.
Yeah, no, he's got the underhooks. He's doing the right thing.
And again, we mentioned it's been 3 years since Floyd's had an MMA fight. Plenty of boxing in between.
So it's like, how much MMA training has he done in between? Yeah. There goes Tyreem grabbing onto that guillotine.
And my guess is, based on the number of fights he's had, that he's taken a lot on short notice.
Yep.
So he's someone that's probably always in the gym.
Always in the gym. Always trying to stay ready. And he's in shape.
Yeah.
Tareem's probably going to either break away hard and strike, or he's going to snap him down to the ground. He's trying to get better his grip here. Good knees to the body. Travis is defending it well. You can see his right arm across. Good work in the clinch.
There.
Yes,
Some knees and some shots upstairs by De Silva.
And then the best part is he just shoots a takedown immediately and gets it. You get that. You get Travis's attention up top. He's blocking that defense, and you shoot underneath.
And again, this smaller cage, Floyd runs out of real estate to try to backpedal.
He's going to pull this wrist out and try to flatten him out. He's looking to pull that left wrist out. Good ground and pound. You see how busy Tareem stays here with the ground and pound. He's got one hook in.
De Silva just picking his spots here.
Elbow too.
Mixing the elbow. Sneak that left hand around the guard.
Yep.
3 minutes to go here in round one. Good position here for De Silva. And now gets his
rear-naked
back.
choke, yes.
Doesn't quite have that forearm under the chin. Floyd's got it tucked pretty close to the chest. But we'll see. Still a lot of time here.
Yeah, Floyd's got to go 2-on-1, but it looks like this is almost like a face crank here. Yeah, he's tapping here.
He's going to tap. And that'll do it. Tareem De Silva, the dream continues. Win number 6. Stays undefeated.
And showed, well-rounded striking. I mean, he went right from the clinch strikes, got his attention up, shot a nice takedown. Very impressive. He hasn't lost a step.
He's looked good despite having only one fight coming into this bout within 3 years. Great job by Tareem De Silva. Let's send it back up to Zach Levake.
Your winner via tap to rear naked choke, Tareem De Silva.
And so there it is, 2 minutes and 15 seconds into round one. De Silva with the victory.
What a finish. What a fight.
Yes, sir.
What kind of camp did you have? How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. I had a great camp. Always working hard down in Florida at Fusion Excel. Yeah, man. Feels so fucking good to be back home. My teammates cornered me today. It's only up from here. Only up from here. Feels good to get this first round finished like I planned. It's just up. It's just up from here. Feels so good to be back here. Feels so good to be back here at CES, where I fought most of my pro career. Feels good. Feels good.
You got a big first round finish with a rear naked choke there. Grappling was on point. Striking's on point. You're always ready to go. What makes you the fighter that you are?
I'm always grinding. I'm a perfectionist. I'm really passionate about this stuff, I mean, when I'm not training, I'm thinking about training. That's it. Or I'm sleeping, that's it. So, I'm always grinding. I'm a perfectionist, that's it. I try to keep working, that's it.
What can we expect from you in 2026?
Honestly, man, 1 or 2 more of these regional fights, and I'm looking to get on the big show and fucking make a run for it, That's it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. UFC, I'm coming. I know that much.
Cranston, Rhode Island, give it up for Tareem De Silva.
All right, who's ready for some heavyweights? Come on, make some noise. Let's welcome to the cage, Johan Basin.
Welcome back to CES 82. Joining you from Nesson, Michael Parenti, and I'm about to be joined shortly by Steve Mays on the call, but right now we're getting into the heavyweight division. Johan Basin making his way to the cage. This is going to be his professional debut. Basin comes in at 6'2", 26 years of age from Providence, Rhode Island. Not much amateur experience to speak of. In fact, not much at all. According to the records, Basin has not fought professionally or as an amateur, does have some smoker bouts, so we'll see if that experience behind the scenes can play a factor tonight in this match. His teammate John Medina actually fought on the amateur portion of tonight's show. Medina helped introduce Basin to the CES family, and tonight he steps in here about to make his pro debut here at the Cranston Park Theater.
Let's welcome to the cage his opponent, Hassan Graham.
And now making his way to the cage, Bason's opponent, Hassan the Bounty Hunter Graham, coming in from Springfield, Massachusetts, a record of 2-3. Both of those wins by knockout. Graham, 32 years of age, coming in at 6'1". This is his first fight in almost exactly 1 year. It was actually on November 9th that he fought a year ago. He lost that fight, flash knockout in 39 seconds, so he's had to live with that loss for the past year as he's trained to get back inside the cage and try to get that taste out of his mouth from suffering that defeat. Now, all of his fights have ended in knockout of some capacity, whether he's done the knocking out or he's been knocked out. So Graham, not one to get paid by the minute in mixed martial arts. He wants to get in there and get in there quickly, and it could be another quick one here tonight based on the records and backgrounds. This is going to be Graham's second appearance with CES MMA. The only fight he had was at CES 76 against Alex Morrow. He suffered a defeat in that one, looking to get win and victory number 1 in the CES cage. The last time he actually won a bout was September of 2023, so it's been more than 2 years since he's tasted victory and looking to get into that win column here tonight. Had a very good amateur background, 4 wins in 4 fights before making his pro debut in October of 2022. Big-time striker, fights on the heavier side in the heavyweight division between 250 265. Looks like it should be a good one. We're about ready to go for some heavyweight action, and with that, we're going to send it back up to our announcer, Zach LaFake, for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 3-round battle in the heavyweight division. And first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his pro debut, he weighed in at 248 pounds. He stands 6'2" tall, fighting out of Providence, Rhode Island, Johan Vicious Basso. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a 2-3 professional record and 2 knockouts. He weighed in at 255 pounds, standing 6'1", hailing out of Springfield, Mass, Hassan Graham.
All right, we're about ready to go here in this heavyweight bout scheduled for 3 rounds. We thank you for joining us on Nesson here at CES 82 from the beautiful Park Theater in Cranston, Rhode Island. And once again, referee Kevin McDonald signals for the start of the action. Pay attention to that QR code on the screen. Your chance to donate to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund. We try to fund research for breast cancer and cancer awareness. Both fighters circling the middle of the cage here. A little feeling out process early on for both sides. Basin coming on that southpaw stance. Graham, the orthodox right-hander. Looks like Graham just picking his spot. Basin circling the perimeter of the cage. Not a lot of real estate to work with. Nice kick to the midsection there by Graham to start things out. And again, we mentioned a much smaller cage than they're used to seeing. Not a lot of room to run around and circle, although the heavyweights don't tend to do as much of that anyway. Now Graham strikes in there with a couple of rights and lefts. Basin going for the takedown. Nice sprawl by Graham to stuff it. And he's going to tap. Quick guillotine submission there by Hassan Graham. Basin not long for this fight. He submits and taps early, and here it is. Here's the replay. He had that guillotine locked in as he pressed Basin against the cage. Basin taps, and that's a victory for Hassan Graham, and a long-awaited victory. Again, as we mentioned, coming into this fight, he had not won a pro bout since September of 2023, so he gets back in the win column for the first time in more than 2 years. Win number 3 to even up his record, and a very impressive one here tonight at CES 82. We'll take a look momentarily at the replay again, but before we do, we're going to send it back up to our announcer, Zach LaFake, with the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute and 9 seconds into round number 1. Your winner via tap to standing guillotine, Hassan Graham.
So once again, 1 minute, 9 seconds into round number 1. A tab 2 guillotine. Let's send it up to the Steve Mays, who has our winner, Hassan Graham.
I just heard you say something interesting. You said I was nervous. It took 1 minute 13 seconds. Were you nervous?
You're always going to have the nerves when you're coming in here. Honestly, I didn't like my performance tonight. Shaky. It's been a while since I've been in the cage, but I'm getting back to it. Next time it's going to be a fucking knockout. Simple. Simple. I like to knock people out. That choking shit ain't me. I want a knockout next time.
Your grappling coach isn't too happy about that. I heard him say, I'm the grappling coach, you don't want, and you want the knockouts.
Love the knockouts. That's what the crowd love. A win is a win, but you're going to take it tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Ava, baby girl, I love you, and we be back soon. Let's fucking get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big boys, Hassan Graham.
So there you have it. Hassan Graham gets the win. Not happy with his performance. He actually wanted to get a knockout, but it wasn't meant to be. Instead, he gets the guillotine submission. But a win is a win. And it was a long-awaited one for Hassan Graham, who, again, as we mentioned, gets into the win column for the first time in more than 2 years. He is now 3-3. Johan Basin drops to 0-1 with the loss in his pro debut. Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more to come on Nesson.
Let's welcome to the cage, Gabriel Lavelle.
Welcome back to the Park Theater in Cranston, Rhode Island, and welcome back to CES 82. Michael Parenti now joined momentarily by Steve Mays, who will be calling the action with me here in our co-main event. Gabriel Lavelle making his way to the cage. Pro debut from Oklahoma City. He has been relatively busy on the amateur circuit. 4 fights since July. Has not won in quite a while and has not gone out of the first round in any of those fights, but he does make his pro debut here tonight at 21 years of age. And Steve, as you know, there's that element of the unknown for someone like Tristan Toronto, who is on the other side of the cage here tonight. To not know much about the opponent, can that be a good or bad thing, or could it be indifferent?
Well, listen, if there's that element of surprise, there's nothing to train for, Mike. There's nothing to get ready for. You're just going out and you're fighting and you're street fight. Let's do it. But the guy across the cage from him tonight he can mix it up.
And now let's welcome to the cage his opponent, Tristan Toronto.
And that young man who can mix it up, 24 years of age from Westerly, Rhode Island. He is Tristan Toronto. 1 win on his record. That win was by knockout. Fighting out of Whaling City Boxing and Jiu-Jitsu. Now, he had his pro debut August 9th at CES 81. Defeated Catriel Young by knockout in just 51 seconds. You see Greg Ribbs Rebello, also our broadcast partner tonight, working Toronto's corner. You see Brennan Ward, a lot of great pedigree of MMA fighters who are providing instruction tonight. Now, before that pro debut, Steve, he had a 3-year layoff from his last amateur fight, is now finally stepping into the pro ranks. What can you say about him? It's the total package. Toronto really represents what we think is the future of New England MMA.
Yeah, and he's got an unbelievable camp there with Rebello and Ward. You're talking 2 veterans, Brennan, who fought in PFL and Bellator, and Greg, who got a shot at the UFC. This kid is an absolute stud, man.
Tristan Toronto inside the cage, ready to go, and we're ready to go. We're going to send it back up to Zach Levake for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, your co-main event is a 3-round battle in the welterweight division. Presenting first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his pro debut. He weighed in at 172 pounds, standing 6 feet tall. He fights out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Gabriel Lavelle. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a 1-0 professional record. He weighs 171 pounds, standing 5'9" tall. He fights out of Westerly, Rhode Island, Tristan Toronto.
Yes.
Here we go. Referee Brian Miner in the center of the ring, about to call for the bell. Tristan Toronto in the black trunks, taking on Gabriel Lavelle in the pink. Toronto, by the way, Steve, as we get ready for round number 1 here, worth mentioning that Toronto was a terrific high school football player at Westerly, all-time rusher. Rushed for 2,000 yards as a fullback as a junior.
Sounds like a young Steve Mays. unbelievable wrestler as well too, and he's got to try to get his head out here and take his back.
Super aggressive start for Lavelle, but he may have backed himself into some trouble here.
Came out southpaw, left-handed, it went for a double leg, almost ate an uppercut. Did a good job to avoid that and got in.
Yeah, it's got Toronto in a quick headlock, but Toronto's going to pop his head free, and this is where Toronto really is at his best.
Here
Some
comes the ground and pound.
Those hammer fists raining down. He's going to let
Oh, he
Lavelle
lets him
stand up.
up.
Yeah, he wants to
lets
stand
him
up. Looks like he wants to mix it up a little bit, and already it's over. Lavelle, I think, has quit after 2 hammer fists to the forehead, and that's going to do it. Brian Miner stepping in. Lavelle wanted no part of it. You can basically see the entire fight here on the replay. Lavelle super aggressive early. Gets Toronto in a headlock. Doesn't have much mustard behind it. Toronto pops that head out.
Mike, I know that that's not the greatest look in the world, but that kid's got an egg on his head already.
Sure does.
I know it's not great, but he's got an egg on his head already. And Mike, I got to do an interview.
Well, Steve Mays is going to head back inside the cage. He's going to interview our winner. You take a look at the replay here as Toronto popped that head free. Buys his time. 1 left hand there, 2 right fists to the forehead, and that was it. Lavelle calls the quits, and that's going to do it. Back up to Zach Levesque, who has the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, 46 seconds into round number 1. Your winner via TKO, Tristan Toronto.
Tristan, 46 seconds, ground and pound, hit him with a nice uppercut. He buried his head for a double leg. You caught him with that uppercut coming in, and then ground and pound is where you're at.
Yes, sir. I just want to give a good shout out to my corner. I got the best corner in New England. Look at my corner. Brennan Ward, Greg Rebello, my dad. He's been here the whole time. George Alves, my jiu-jitsu coach out of Carlson Gracie. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Having these guys around me, it's hard to come out and put on a bad performance. So, yeah.
I was going to mention the corner. You got an unbelievable corner. What is it having a guy like Brennan Ward who's been in the big show? What's it like having him in the corner?
It's weird. I met Brennan at a young age. I was like this big, training at his dad's gym, boxing, and how it's come full circle now, like just watching him as like a fan in the crowd, and now having him every step of the way. He's like a big brother to me, a best friend. I owe him everything, man.
And then you got former CES champion Greg Ribs Rebello. Got to be the best striking coach around, no?
Oh, no doubt about it. Once I started with Greg, my game has changed tremendously, and he's another one. He's been there with me basically from the start of my MMA career, so I owe everything to him as well.
And then, obviously, no matter what gym you go to or who you train with, family has always been everything. You got Dad in the corner. Tell us about it.
He's been there with me since 6 years old, got me into wrestling at a Westerly Youth Club, and it's just snowballed into jiu-jitsu, boxing, and now this, and it's been a dream, honestly. It's not even, the story hasn't even started yet. It's just barely started, and we got a long way to go.
What's next for Tristan Toronto?
Back to work on Monday. I'm a full-time carpenter, so I'm going back to work, back to pounding nails on Monday, and probably fighting again in January. Whenever CES comes back, I'll be here.
If you want to be here, we want you. Park there to give it up for Tristan Toronto.
Hey, it's Fred.
Hey,
Fred
it's
Blank. Let's
Orlando Magic.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event is sanctioned by the Rhode Island Department of Business Regulation, Division of Gaming Athletic Licensing. Beth Dwyer, the director. Pamela Toro, administrative and legal support. Christina Tobias, the gaming and athletics administrator. Peter Timothy, gaming and athletics. Our referees for this bout, Kevin McDonald and Brian Miner. Our judges at cage side, Paul Asmar, Nick Mahmood, Mark Cottarelli, Alan Lau, and our physicians at cage side, Dr. Peter de Blasio and Dr. David Carpentier. Now, who is ready for the main event?
The number one lesson I want my kids to learn that I learned from fighting is that, it is the reward of discipline and doing the right thing, of really how much it could pay off, and whether it's physically training for a fight to get in there and compete against an adversary that's been doing the training against you as well, getting up and doing the things that need to be done to achieve that, and understanding what that payoff is like. There's no greater reward. The intensity, I guess, kind of changes a bit. Your approach. You definitely become a little numb to some of the feelings that you had early on. The experience does pay off in that regard. Every fight's a little bit different. It all kind of depends what goes into that camp and what kind of burdens you're carrying on your shoulders. At least for myself, it's been a while for me to really speak on it. So I'm looking forward to kind of having that feeling again. Because every fight is a different type of set of feeling. Again, it's really about the burden you carry on.
What's the most memorable moment of your career?
I've had a few, man. I've had a few good ones, bad ones. I've had losses that really impacted me in a positive way. I've had wins that didn't really feel like anything. It's a conglomerate of the bonds that I've made with the people that have been involved in my careers. And I've had special moments with each one of these people during different fights and different, times. Going to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, training with Jose at Formal Boxing, doing well at Naga, winning a Naga tournament with Pete Jeffrey, my first time competing in Jiu-Jitsu, given that Jiu-Jitsu has always been one of my Achilles heels, and all the work that I've done with him. So I've had all these special moments with different people in my life. It was really special for me. It was my first fight coming back after Keith had passed away. Keith was the guy I started my career with. His daughter Emily came out and she had his ashes in an urn. When I came out to go see her, she showed me her, Dad was here. So I go in the back room and I'm bawling my eyes out, dude. A few moments later, you walk out and next thing you know, I'm knocking this kid out in the first round in honor of Keith. And I felt him. He was there with me, without a doubt. And yeah, special moment, most special moment to me was that one. But I've had a lot of others, I retired to start a family and to kind of shift my life into that next phase. And as much as I love being a father and I love my kids, there's something that a void I couldn't fill. Even though I was empty in many other ways, they filled all those voids. Just the fighting thing, and I think I was wished I could have fought with children and have them see the fights and been there with me. And I had kids a little bit later in my career, and it got to a point where it was like one or the other. So it makes it so special now that I can't have them, involved with this in some piece of it. I get to have a piece of my fighting career with them in it, and I'll be able to look back on that with them in years to come, and hopefully they can find influence and motivation through that. Dad is definitely a never-ending task. It never stops. It's all hours, 24 hours a day. Sweetbread I have to kind of tap into, especially with, the chapter of my life where I'm at now. Fighting it's a job of its own. You got to put that cape on and get to work and go fight crime. But that's what it is. When it comes to being a father, it comes to being, Dennis. That's the reality of my life. That's what I sit in all day. I love it. I appreciate it. I find a lot of value in it. And it's really why I'm coming back to fight.
Fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 135 pounds, hailing from Providence, Rhode Island, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Sweetbread Paiva! Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our main event. So let's welcome our first combatant to the cage, AJ Robb.
Welcome back to CES 82. Michael Parenti and Greg Ribello bringing you the action here on Nesson, and it is time for our main event. One more time for Dennis Paiva as he goes out, or hopes to go out on a high note, but he's facing a very tough AJ Robb who's making his way to the cage. AJ coming in from Colorado Springs, Colorado, a record of 6-5. 2 of those wins by knockout, 1 win by submission. A lot of pressure on Rob here. He's in a very hostile crowd against the hometown favorite Dennis Paiva, who is making his last appearance in MMA. Rob has a lot riding on this fight as well, Greg. He's not coming here to lose.
No, he's not. He's coming into enemy territory. But obviously this kid, if you've watched him fight, fought super tough competition. I mean, he fought Batista in the UFC. He's one of the top guys in the world right now. He was 8-1 as an amateur. I mean, he's 6-5, but he had an excellent amateur career. The guy's tough as nails. He's very aggressive. Like, all the fights that I've watched him, I mean, he really pushes the pace with his kickboxing, with his striking. He's a little bit wild sometimes, so it's a lot of fun to watch. The biggest thing with Paiva is he's going to be looking to get on the inside. Paiva's got a pretty big reach advantage, so I expect him to be even more aggressive to try to get on the inside.
And now let's welcome his opponent, Dennis Paiva.
Dennis Paiva going for the dramatic entrance here in his last fight. Last time we saw him, Greg, was 2021. Yeah, he's coming down the aisle.
I like it.
Going to make his way through the crowd of the Park Theater here in Cranston. And this is a big night for Sweetbread. 37 years old, a record of 13-9, 7 of those wins by knockout, 2 by submission. 21 of Paiva's 22 fights have been in this exact CES MMA cage. He is the most prolific and most celebrated fighter in CES history, and he's trying to go out on a high note tonight. A lot of pressure in a fight like this, Greg.
No, absolutely. Like we said, Dennis kind of ended on a bad note, a bad taste in his mouth. But, he had a couple of kids, married, children. He puts a lot on the plate here, so he just needed a little bit of time off. Recollect his thoughts. He kept training the whole time. I mean, like I said, I seen him sparring a couple weeks ago against some high-level guys, and he looked as good, if not better, than he ever has before. You'll see. I mean, the shape this kid's in is unbelievable. Still in his prime. He's 37 years old. So, he said, why not? Let's come back and do one more. So
as we mentioned, Paiva's last fight, 2021, that was at CES 62. It was a world title shot against Josh Smith. He lost that fight by submission and subsequently announced his retirement. Took some time off from the cage. Did have 2 grappling matches. He had one in 2022 and then one in April. So he, like you said, Greg, he's been training, he's been active, and just by the looks of it, looks like he's in incredible shape.
Oh, he's in incredible shape. And he's been doing a lot of jiu-jitsu with Mike Gresh, his jiu-jitsu coach.
Yes.
He's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. A lot of people forget he was a state champ wrestler in New Bedford High, I believe, in Massachusetts. So Dennis is an excellent grappler. He's been doing, like I said, the grappling matches. Like he's been, staying in the game, working on his grappling.
Perhaps the most impressive statistic and the most mind-boggling of all is that Paiva debuted with CES in 2011 at CES 10. CES has held 71 shows since Paiva's pro debut, and here he is at number 82 for what we hope or what we think might be the final time. Whose retirement tour might be bigger, John Cena or Dennis Paiva? I don't know.
I'm going with
Who
Dennis
might call
Paiva.
it quits? It's Dennis Paiva.
The most beloved Portuguese guy in Rhode Island.
Paiva, as we mentioned, 13-8 lifetime with CES. The only fight outside of the cage was with the Contender Series in 2020. He lost to Kyle Driscoll. He's back here tonight. Big fight, big show of sportsmanship for his opponent, AJ Robb. We're just about ready to go. Paiva doing the tour, shaking hands with everybody for the final time. And with that, we're going to send it up to Zach Levake for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. Live from the Park Theater in Cranston, Rhode Island. Let's make some noise. This 3-round bout is in the featherweight division. And first, fighting out of the blue corner with a professional record of 6 wins, 5 losses, 3 finishes. He weighed in at 145 pounds. He stands 5'6" from Colorado Springs, Colorado, presenting AJ Robb. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a professional record of 13 wins, 9 losses, and 9 finishes. He weighed in at 144 pounds. He stands 5'9" tall, fighting out of Providence, Rhode Island, presenting Dennis Sweetbread Paiva.
Kevin McDonald calling the action here tonight in our main event. Dennis Paiva in the white trunks, AJ Robb in the black. This one's scheduled for 3 rounds in the featherweight division.
Dennis, obviously the taller guy with a reach advantage. He's got very sharp striking. You're going to look for him to use that jab. Try to keep him at range. He doesn't want AJ coming in and throwing those big shots. So.
Paiva in terrific shape, as you mentioned,
Yep.
Greg.
Oh, absolutely.
Looks incredible.
But there's Paiva's jab. He's got a great jab. But going lefty to righty, that outside kick is very smart. The lead kick by AJ.
Yeah. Rob trying to
Paiva
work the
checked
back of that
one.
calf.
Yep. Good left hand. But you're going to see Dennis, a lot of straight jabs. And when he shoots that left hand, he's going to keep his head to the right. So he's going to put his head on the outside just like so.
Good left hand there by Paiva.
Yep.
Another left.
And he's got great feet. He does a great job of throwing shots and pulling back, especially when he knows he's got the reach advantage here.
And Paiva's striking's elite. He had a pro boxing match as well for CS many years ago, so he's got that pedigree. Rob trying to land some uppercuts here. Paiva slips momentarily, pops back up quickly.
But Paiva with the wrestling, he's got the whizzer. Good knee to the belly.
Rob answers with a knee of his own. 1 minute here into round number 1. Michael Parenti, Greg Rebello bringing you the action here on Nesson in our main event of CES 82. Once again, scan that QR code. Donate to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund.
Good left hand to the belly.
Seeing Paiva again, Greg, brings back so many great memories from those early years of CS. Yourself in that cage.
I mean, and then Paiva, he started slow in his MMA career, and then he just went on a massive tear and a huge run here at CES.
Paiva was 3-5 through 8 fights, then went on to win 7 out of 8.
Yeah.
And that's when he earned a title shot against Andre Ewell at CES 50. He lost that fight. Ewell went on to the UFC. Paiva would wait his turn several years later in 2020 when he got to the Contender Series. But again, just bringing back those memories from those early years, the years of Mike Campbell, Andre Sukumta, Todd the Hulk Chattel, all those big names that came up through CES. And Paiva was one of them who stuck with it for life and has always been part of that CES family.
Absolutely. You can see Dennis really opening up with the feints here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, good kick to the body.
Rob catches that kick to the midsection. Now he gets the takedown. Tough break there for Paiva.
Dennis is too high up. Dennis is going to try to shuck him off back to the center. Yep. Good work by Paiva.
Yep.
Because we've seen him in that position before, getting into some trouble. Obviously, he's been doing his homework.
This time he's able to flip Rob right over the top, pop back to his feet.
Nice jab. Jab right over the top.
Now Paiva right back to where he wants to be in the center of that cage. Working those jabs. Blocks the kick upstairs.
And Paiva does a great job. He takes a little tiny steps back, stays out of range, sticks that jab, steps back. And Rob's just swinging at air, huh?
Rob's still working those leg kicks, the front leg.
But he is circling around the outside. I'm kind of surprised by that. I figured he would be a lot more aggressive. Huh?
And perhaps Rob just picking his moment.
Yeah.
Paiva with that lead right.
Paiva looking for that check hook on the way in. Paiva feinting with that either rear leg or rear knee.
Paiva in the southpaw stance early on. First of 3 rounds here in our main event at CES 82.
Nice left hand to the body, huh? So AJ's having some success with that left kick, that lead left kick, but Dennis is also throwing a nice left hand to the body.
Yeah, it hasn't really slowed Paiva's progression.
No.
Which is what it's meant
to
do.
He seemed to check a couple of them. And I can tell you from experience, those hurt. Nice left hand. Yep. And he steps back again. But Dennis has been notorious for that over his career. Throwing that left hand, stepping back. He throws one at a time, and then he'll start to open up.
Nice hook again. That lead right, though, starting to land for Paiva.
And I get to AJ starts to get really aggressive. Once he lands one, he comes with 3 or 4 behind it. There he goes, 3, 4 shots. Dennis do a good job of circling out.
Yep. Blocks that kick upstairs. Right back to the center of the cage.
Yeah. Great work by both guys trying to impose their will here. Nice lead hook by Dennis.
That's 3 or 4 that Paiva lands with the right hand.
Another left hand to the body.
Switching levels on Rob. Good opening round here by both fighters. Under a minute to go.
See, the big key here is when the pace of the fight slows down, that's when you really see Dennis's striking come into play. But AJ's still firing back. If Dennis lands a shot, he comes firing back. That's that nice kick there. You don't want to eat too many of those. Yeah. Searching for a guillotine there. Huh?
Good job by both getting their
Yeah, Dennis
feet.
shot a double. He went for that guillotine. Dennis rolled out of it.
Final 15 seconds of round 1.
Yep, nice again. Left hand to the body. Huh?
This round ending the way it started in the center of the cage. And there's the bell. Good opening round.
Yes,
Good
excellent
pace
round.
by both
Excellent round by
fighters.
both guys, yeah.
But Paiva looks sharp with those left hands and, of course, the lead right a few times. You see some replay action here. This is early in the round where Paiva slipped, got back to his feet quickly, and really controlled the pace of that round, Greg, from the center of the cage. I thought did a nice job. You see Paiva getting that left hand in there, gets right back out, then lands 2 lefts. And Rob, for a second there, caught him with that kick, caught that kick to the midsection. Paiva sneaks right back out. He threw Rob over the top and got back to his feet. So Paiva looking sharp early despite that 3-year layoff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. His jab looks great. His footwork looks great. Obviously, you can see he's in excellent shape. Both guys are. Neither guy has landed that big shot, though, to, kind of start to take over the fight.
And we'll see how round 2 goes if the pace is picked up by either side. A.J. Robb looking to get his first win since January of 2023, so it's been quite some time since Robb has been in the win column. Obviously coming here with a lot of pressure on his shoulders, a lot of pressure on Paiva's as well. Sometimes in the position that Robb is in as the underdog and being the fighter who, obviously not the hometown favorite, can sometimes bring the best out of a fighter.
Yeah, and he's not scared of tough fights, as you've seen.
Rob is a 5-time LFA veteran
nice
as well.
right hook
Yeah,
there,
nice job there.
And he ate that and kept coming forward. But you can see Rob's starting to pick up the pace a little bit. He's starting to walk forward a little bit. But again, that can be a dangerous game with Paiva.
Once again, Michael Parenti, Greg Ribello bringing you our main event here at CES 82 on Nesson. Dennis Paiva in the white trunks, AJ Robb in the black, and Rob trying to get the takedown.
Dennis up 2-on-1 here. He's going to break that grip. Excellent work by Paiva.
Right back to the center of the cage is Paiva and sneaks in that left hand.
It looks like Rob's got a cut on his left cheek, probably from that lead hook that he cracked him with in the center of the cage. But Paiva going back to the jab, slowly starting to walk him down. See, if this pace slows right here, this is when you're going to see Paiva's striking really start to pick up. All right, good left hand.
And once again, you're watching the long-awaited return of Dennis Paiva, first time since 2021, and what he says will be his last fight as he lands a nice left hand again.
Yeah, he does a great job of splitting that jab, moving his head to the outside and then shooting that left hand down the middle. Move your head to the right, shoot the left. Rob's starting to feint with teeps and low kicks here.
Yeah, Rob going back to those kicks to the calf again. Now tries the midsection. Paiva just pawing with that jab. Nice lead right.
Yeah, nice left hand to the belly. I'd like to see Dennis mix that jab up to the belly as well, too.
And as Rob shooting in every so often, Rob just comes through very explosive.
But Dennis is doing a great job defensively, and then he circles back around.
Nice right hand again by Paiva. And you're right, Greg, there's that little abrasion on the right or the left cheek of A.J. Robb. As Paiva continues to come forward. 3 minutes to go in round number 2. There he is, Paiva going to the body. Back upstairs with the right hook.
He lands that right hook when Rob starts to blitz and come in. But Rob's starting to slow that pace. He does a blitz every 30 seconds, so nice left hand. Dennis starting to open up a little bit here.
Right-left combinations by Paiva. And those
Rob's
shots
not going to go away. You're going to see him start to fire back. Dennis lands another good shot. You're going to see Rob fire back and blitz him again. Good left hand again. We're halfway through this round.
Big left by Paiva. Paiva feeling confident. His stand-up game is working. Everything's starting to click here.
And he looks great. Landing shots, circling out, not getting caught with anything.
So far, so good for Paiva. Again, the left hand.
Almost like a left and loop that time. So he's mixing it up. Straights to the belly, straights up top. That looping left is coming into play a little bit. And now you're going to see him start to slap that lead leg.
Rob catches the kick to the midsection. Second time that's happened for Paiva. And again, he overshoots.
Great job sneaking out the back door,
And again, Paiva slips off from underneath now. Rob trying a couple up kicks. Paiva let him get to his feet.
But Paiva does a great job getting back to his feet. He scrambles very well. Nice left looping left hook to the body.
Just under 2 minutes to go here in round 2.
These left hands to the body over the course of the first 2 rounds, especially that looping one, that's going to start to slow Rob down a little bit.
We haven't seen Rob working those, well, just as we said it, he works that kick to the leg again.
Yep.
But those lead kicks have been few and far in between as they were in round 1. And a lot of that is just putting Rob on the defensive with the way Paiva's attacked.
Yeah, Rob's starting to slow. I haven't seen any blitzes in a little bit here. Good left hand to the body. Nice jab. Now here comes AJ. He gets hit with a good shot, and then he starts firing away.
Nope. Slips on that kick to the head. Pops right back up. Final minute of round 2. Dennis Paiva in the white trunks taking on AJ Robb in the black trunks. It's our featherweight main event here at CES 82.
Yeah, Dennis is really popping that jab out. He's going to be looking for that big left hand again. He's going to look to put a stamp on this round in the last 45 seconds. Yep, there it is.
There's right left hand combination. That jab is what sets up the left hand. Although Paiva's lead right has been just as effective at times.
Yep. But it's the jab that sets the table for that left hand. That left hand straight is money in the bank.
Paiva has a lot of boxing skill. He works with boxing
yeah.
trainer Jose Santos of 401 Boxing in Rhode Island, so he's got the tutelage.
Does
worked on that a lot over the years.
Does his kickboxing with Mike Gresh. Like he's got a lot of high-level coaches around him.
Very well-rounded fighter, and you're seeing a little bit of it really on display here today. Hasn't been as much on the ground. It's really been very much a stand-up fight for 2 rounds. And wildly entertaining.
Absolutely.
Paiva goes to the body. Back upstairs.
Back to
double
back.
left hand there. And a nice finish to the round for Dennis Paiva, who looks like he's in complete control so far.
He's definitely in the driver's seat. And again, Rob's got to know that. I'm sure his coaches now are going to be like, listen, you're probably down 2 rounds to none. So sense of urgency is probably going to come out from Rob in this round.
Be very tough sledding. An uphill battle for AJ Robb as we go into round number 3. We want to remind everybody watching us at home on Nesson, when that timer comes on, scan that QR code. The proceeds from tonight's fight go to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund as we fuel research at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. So make sure to give and give generously. And there is the QR code on your screen right now. Of course, CS 82, a fight for a cause number 3. Michael Parenti bringing you the action with Greg Rebello. Been a very entertaining fight here. Dennis Paiva, who says he's fighting for the last time, but I don't know. He looks pretty good, man.
Listen, maybe he continuously looks like this, so you can see him hyping the crowd up.
Yeah. Could we see one more? I don't know, but this could be the storybook ending that Paiva wants if he gets through round number 3.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this is a great main event.
Paiva doing a fantastic job. He's got the crowd into it and getting ready to go for round number 3, which could be the last round of Dennis Paiva's illustrious career with CS MMA. And here we go.
You can hear Rob's corner telling them, do not wait. You got to go, go, go.
Rob has to make something happen. A couple of times there where he caught those kicks to the midsection by Paiva, but his aggressiveness shot him over the top.
He was able to get him on the ground, but Dennis, was able to scramble back to his feet. Dennis is looking for the overhand left now. I've thrown that a few times.
Former CS MMA heavyweight champion Greg Rebello here with us on the call. He's been in these kind of fights before. He's been in this cage. And knows the pressure that comes with it. And Paiva just doing a great job handling it all. Yeah, it's a lot, Greg. It's his last fight, a lot of media appearances, a lot of tickets sold.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on Paiva. He hasn't fought in a few years. I mean, you can see the crowd he's brought here. He's fighting a tough guy. And, I mean, he looks great, man. He looks as good as he ever has. Man. Especially the lead hand. I mean, I see him starting to check that kick now, starting to lift that leg up. Nice jab again.
Ooh, jab followed by the left hand. Now Paiva
is really starting to put it on here.
3-4 punch combination by Sweetbread.
That's what you want. I mean, listen, Dennis's last fight, I wouldn't be shocked if he tries to get him out of here.
And that would be quite a way to end it if he can't do it. But Rob is a tough opponent. He's been hanging in there this entire fight.
Oh, he's got quite the chin. He's ate some big shots. And another one there. Got the underhook, get off the fence. He's going to break away right back in the CS logo. Yep.
Nice job by Paiva. Gets that separation. And right back to the jab combination. You can see on Rob's face just the abrasions from the battering he's taken here from Dennis Paiva. And those shots have added up over the course of 2+ rounds.
And he's really loading up. It's fun to watch. But you can hear Dennis's corner. You can hear Mike Gresh. Keep that jab going. Back to the basics. Don't get too crazy here.
Stick with what works.
Yep, good
Rob tries for the takedown. Paiva stuffs it brilliantly. Gets back to his feet. Nice sprawl by Paiva.
Grabs a great whizzer. Right back to the feet.
Halfway through the third and final round here. Dennis Paiva in the white trunks. AJ Robb in the black trunks. Closing out CS 82 here at the beautiful Park Theater in Cranston, Rhode Island. We thank everybody who's joining us on Nesson tonight watching our broadcast. Dennis Paiva putting on the performance of a lifetime in what will be his final bout.
You got 2 minutes left here.
Listen to this crowd.
Oh, they're loving it. Another left hand to the belly. Yep, nice combination. He threw the jab, both shots to the belly there. Yeah, Dennis seems, he's landing 3 to 4 punches to Rob's 1.
That's been the story of the fight.
Yeah, it's just, he's just picked up the pace a lot here.
And he's just been the more prolific puncher, the stronger volume puncher, landed the bigger blows.
Rob is still in it, though. I mean, he's standing right in front of him. He's trying to win this fight here.
I think Rob, at this point, with 90 seconds to go, is really going to try to land that home run shot if he can.
You can see that he's trying to blitz. Yeah. And you can see that Dennis throws left hands, and then he ducks to his left. So you can see Rob's really trying to set that uppercut up. So you'll see Dennis, good circle out, nice pivot.
Paiva's been through this before. He knows the desperation on A.J. Rob and what to look out for.
Yeah. Good Jack Hook. Got 1 minute left here.
Both fighters landing on that exchange.
Oh, yeah.
Under a minute to go here in the fight. Paiva trying to close it out in style in his final bout. Been a brilliant performance against A.J. Rob.
He's looking for that left hand to the belly. I have a feeling he's going to come over the top, too, with that left hand. Nice left hand again.
Big right to left by Paiva in the final 30 seconds. Crowd getting on its feet.
Oh, yeah. And Rob is still coming.
Rob has not quit. But we knew this was going to be a tough fight.
I knew it from the get-go when I started it.
Exactly as advertised.
And it just happens to be the main event, which is great.
Paiva getting what he asked for and then some, and Rob just continues to come forward. But Paiva putting on a striking clinic here tonight in his final fight. And there's the bell. That's going to do it. Dennis Sweetbread Paiva, a brilliant performance in the finale of his tremendous career. He hops on top of the cage, gives the salute to the fans who came here to see him. Just a tremendous job, really, from the opening bell, Greg.
Yeah, he looked great. His jab, his striking, his footwork. I mean, he looked as good as ever. Let's see if maybe he's got one more in him.
Hey, you never know. Sometimes when you say it's your last one, it may not be, but a lot of times fighters love that storybook ending. And Greg, as you know, not everybody gets the opportunity to do that and to go out on their terms. And I think in the end, that's what Paiva ultimately wanted after suffering that loss to Josh Smith in 2021. Wanted to come back and walk away a winner when it's all said and done. And there he is.
Feeling all the emotions right now.
Yeah, all the emotions just pouring out of him. He knows this is it. Promoter Jimmy Birchfield there, who's been in his corner from day one since 2011 at CES 10 at Twin River Casino, Rhode Island, all the way here to the Park Theater at CES 82. He has spanned generations. He spanned almost a decade.
Yeah.
And there it is. The finale for Sweetbread Paiva, a tremendous performance. We'll see how the judges have it. We're going to send it back up to our cage announcer, Zach LeVake, who has the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges score the bout 30-27. Your winner via unanimous decision, Dennis Sweetbread Paiva.
Park Theater, we got Sweetbread. Give it up for Dennis Paiva. I'll give you a second here. What an unbelievable fight to end it on. Most people, when they want to end their career, they want an easy one. They call Jimmy, Mr. Birchfield, they call Pat, and they say, I just want an easy one. Not you. You're a fighter. You came out, put on the best performance of your career against a kid who came here to fight in front of your fans for your promotion. Tell us how you feel, man.
Oh, man. What's up, Park Theater? What's going on? You know, it's been obviously a long and windy road coming back here, and you know, the reality is I really never ever thought in my life I was going to get to be able to have this opportunity. I'm a little emotional, kind of been that guy my whole career. Let me first start off by thanking CES for giving me the opportunity in a home to perform, to my coaches, to my corners, to my beautiful wife and my family, my friends. I want to send a shout out to some people who couldn't be here tonight. Keith, I know you're up there watching down, man. I keep you every step of the way, and I think about you every day. I love you, and I miss you dearly. Pete Jeffrey and everybody at Triforce, and the guys over there. Pete couldn't be here tonight. I know he's here with me. Shout out to Cynthia Tong, man. They were a home for me for a long time. All the guys up there. Joe Lozon gave me a place to spar for this camp. I want to shout out Tyson Shoddy at Top Game Management. He was my manager for my whole career. I wasn't able to get him out here for this one. It's probably something I need to look back on. But Tyson, if you're here and you're listening, I love you, man. I appreciate everything you did for me and believing in me and giving me the nod to go ahead to get back in the cage early this year. Just thank you, everybody. Thank you for everybody who came out, who bought tickets and supported me. My family, my friends, I love you guys.
Dennis, I gotta ask you something before you get in here. We're gonna get some pictures with you and your coaches and your family and everybody. I said to you up there, if I didn't see it for myself, I wouldn't have known that you were ready, but I saw it when you were in the gym with us every Saturday, grinding it out, and I saw that you were ready. But you said something yesterday that your kids want dad, right? They don't care that dad has to weigh in and that dad has to, get on the scale and dad has to go train. But now, you're dad. Yep. From this point forward, you are dad. What does it mean that you're now with your beautiful wife, your kids, and this chapter is over, but the next chapter is just beginning?
Yeah, man, I've been called a lot of names in my life, some good and some bad. Dennis, Dinesh, Piva, Sweetbread, Junior. The best name, my most favorite name ever go by is Daddy. And I can't wait to go home and see my kids. I love you guys, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Dennis, I want to bring in your promoter, because the other thing that you said to me yesterday, you said, I want to wear a CES shirt. I want to wear a CES hat. And I said, you do? And you said, I am CES. That's exactly what you said to me last night. I am CES. Mr. Birchfield, what does it mean to you to have a guy like Dennis Sweetbread Piva for all these years be in the MMA cage and represent CES the way that he did?
First of all, a magnificent performance tonight. Sweetbread, magnificent. You look like when you were 20 years old. From day one, I have represented thousands of athletes. There's no one better that's been more loyal and more supportive of CES than this guy right here. And we're family. We're family. And tonight, with what he did here tonight, with all his fans and his family here, I'm so proud of you, Dennis. I can't, you really made my whole weekend beautiful. I love you, and we will always be family. God bless you all.
All right. And one last thing, man. You see all the pink, right? It's not for nothing. Joanne Sullivan, mother of Pat Sullivan here, Director of Operations for CES. If you guys got to see my post, you'll see some barcodes out. Let's get this man across the $1 million mark with everything he's raised for the greatest fund we could put together, man. And that's a proud mama's boy, and that's something him and I share in common. And we're very proud mama's boys. So if you guys see it, scan the barcode, donate what you can, wear pink, and let's tap cancer out and get rid of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Park Theater, one last time, Dennis Sweetbread Piva!
Oh, so there you have it. What more can you say? Just an outpouring of emotion in the cage tonight from Dennis Piva, from promoter Jimmy Birchfield. And as Dennis mentioned, he is CES. When you think about it, going back to 2011, the first time he stepped in that cage, to where he is now, 14 years later, almost 2 decades, as one of the more loyal fighters that has ever stepped inside the CS cage. What more can you say about Paiva? This was an absolute tremendous performance tonight. To go out like this and to go out on his terms, it took a lot of pressure, and he went out there, and not only did he perform, but he won convincingly.
And listen, it's tough. Like, guys retiring and know that it's going to be the end of the road for them. Like, the biggest thing is most fighters go out staring at the ceiling lights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's tough. I fortunately went out like Dennis with a win in front of my friends and family, and it was great. But, man, what got me is, like, you know, the dad thing.
Yeah.
You know, what's the best nickname? I mean, that's pretty cool, man. You know, I'm a dad, too, so it's like.
Same here, and it's hard not to get emotional
same.
and to hear Dennis Paiva and to not feel that emotion through him. And you and I have been down this road with Dennis Paiva before. We've called so many of his fights together. I've had the pleasure of calling Dennis Paiva fights for nearly a decade and a half, so it's a joy to see him in the cage. And honestly, there aren't many like him, and there are not going to be many like him going forward. So
he's,
congratulations to Sweetbread Paiva to get the victory tonight,
and
win number 14.
Not only that, I mean, has he ever looked better than that?
Honestly,
I don't
you
know.
you think
he's
about
had
it.
some great fights, but that was pretty damn special at 37 years old.
Promoter Jimmy Birchfield said it. He looked as good as he's ever looked at the performance of a lifetime, and I thought about it, and he may be right. I mean, honestly, when you think about
if I looked
Paiva's
like that,
road,
I probably would never wear a shirt. But
you mentioned going back to the beginning of his career, Paiva was just 3-5 through 8 fights, kind of at a crossroads and not sure where to go.
And then he switched up again. We talked about that before. Switched up his training a little bit, went on a huge run, was arguably the best guy in New England in that weight class for a very long time.
I think when you look back at the history of CS, and again, you talked about fighters like yourself, Greg Ribbs Rebello, Todd the Hulk Chattel, John Doomsday Howard, Rob Font, Calvin Cater, Chuck O'Neal, Andre Sukumta. There are so many names, but I think Dennis Sweetbread Paiva really personifies. He's up there with all of them.
He is.
And arguably one of the many faces, kind of the Mount Rushmore of CS, if
Without
you will,
question.
when you
He's
think
at the
about
top
it.
of that
So
list
he's right there. And just a brilliant performance tonight by Dennis Paiva. Listen, we thank everybody for joining us tonight here on Ness, and it's been a tremendous night of mixed martial arts. Once again, you can go online and you can donate to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund. Tonight's event was a Fight for a Cause 3, and we continue to do all we can, as Dennis Paiva said, to tap out cancer and to support cancer research at the Dana-Farber Institute. I want to once again thank all the fans for joining us. For Greg Rebello, I'm Mike Parenti. We will see you next time at the fights.
My heart's racing and I'm ready. I'm throwing my fist cause my pace will leave you sweaty. And knowing you miss, my knots cut like a machete. It's blowing a kiss, your rock seeing no confetti. In your vision and ish, your lips swelling and they're bleeding. You never felt defeating as I wanted to shout to please a demon I'm feeding. He's always eating, smack, crack, blood and heavy breathing. Chewing on my fists like back when you were teething. You never seen it coming, you never seen it coming, you never seen it coming. Right at down. You never seen it coming, you never seen it coming, you never seen it coming. Right at down. You never seen it coming, you never seen it coming, you never seen it coming. Right at down. You never seen it coming, you never seen it coming, you never seen it coming. What's up? I'll get something coming through. We run them backwards and taking your town to fall. Ain't nobody gonna open us. They can't take what's out. Call the law, call the top, call your crew. We call the troop. We get into the battlefield. Ain't nobody gonna